Hey y'all, this is TCA Gaming, and in this video we are going to go through a few consignments. Then we're also going to go over the WATA game. This should be the final update for that, and then finally at the very end we are going to focus on the original base set. We're going to go through some of the original products that come out with the theme decks, and I'm going to show you guys some of the variations. So first let's go over some of the consignments. Here we have an Aggron and a Roselia. These are from Legend Maker. Pulled the 10, you can see it's got CS16 there on the back. So if you see CS16 in the title of the listings, it's just because that's pretty much what I use to identify the consignment. Also, we have a Brilliant Stars Gem Mint 10 booster pack, as well as a Shining Fates Gem Mint 10 booster pack. Both of these have the Charizard artwork, so something that I collect myself. And then we also got in a consignment. We've got an alternate art Galarian Articuno V. We have the alternate art Galarian Zapdos V, which a lot of people call this one the Roadrunner because of the way it's going up the hill right there and it's stretched out. Got the Mewtwo GX from Shining Legends Pikachu V, and then we have the VMAX full art. We got Snorlax V and the Snorlax VMAX. Then we have Umbreon V, the Trainer Gallery, plus the VMAX Trainer Gallery from Brilliant Stars, and then we're going to finish off with a Single Strike Urshifu V, which is the that one was an alternate art as well. So not a ton of consignments I'm going to show you guys in this video. Trying to make sure that I stay up to date on them. Cut it close with a few of them, making sure that they do get a little bit of advertisement. As for the WATA game, we have it back. So here is that Pokemon Stadium game that was sent to the wrong place. They got it back, and you can see there's the 9.4 A++ rating. It's in great condition. So WATA was able to very quickly rectify it. In fact, by the time this video comes out, this game may be getting pretty close to ending in auction, or may have already ended in auction, because as soon as I got this back, the consignee had me listed that day so that it would coincide pretty close to some of the other games when it was going to end. So this right here, it was taken care of very quickly by WATA. Hats off to them for the customer service they provided on this game. And I know many of you probably want a little bit more drama with this kind of stuff, but didn't have it on this one. They took care of it. All right, next up, what I want to show you guys, we're actually going to go back to some theme deck stuff. So let me pull out, I got a few different variations I want to show you guys. We're going to start with the most common theme decks that you would find. So this is what a theme deck display would look like back in the day. Most of the time, if you saw a theme deck and you remember from your childhood, you probably didn't have one of these full displays unless you were into buying and selling from a hobby shop. You wouldn't find this in Walmart. Most likely you would find the individual decks. Now if you went to a hobby shop, maybe you would find that, but you can see right here, it has the 4 different decks here. You've got Blackout, Overgrowth, Brushfire, and Zap. And one of these displays actually is split down the middle here. You're going to have 8 full decks, so there's going to be 2 of each. Now this is the most common type version. You can see that the logos are square. On the side, what you want to look for is the type of seal. You don't see gold strips, which would indicate shadowless. I'm going to show you guys that here in a minute. And then also you don't see a seal that would be kind of like a line down the middle, almost what you would see on the outside of this case here. You actually see it folded over. On the bottom, what you also want to look for are you want to look at the country locations and stuff. If you only see this right here, and you didn't see the wizard logos there on the outside, then it would have a good chance of being shadowless, even if it didn't have the gold strips right there, because it would indicate an earlier version. The later versions had all these extra country locations, and then of course the wizard logos. Well, if you're familiar with the base set booster boxes, you know that the shadowless version with the long crimps, they don't have that. Now when you get into the short crimp shadowless, then sometimes those have the logos, sometimes those don't, and then first edition definitely does not. So let me show you. This right here was opened up by Old School Pokemon.
No pressure, but you could get 4.
I never sell gold strip zaps now.
So here we go.
Never again.
How's it feel?
Oh wait. Oh. For those of you who are wondering what am I talking about when I say shadowless. So these are the Zap decks. I have 7 sealed decks here, 1 that was opened up. This gold strip is what I'm referring to. You can feel right here the deck is on the top half. That'll become important later on. But this gold strip, I've never seen a gold strip deck opened up that did not contain shadowless cards. And there are some people out there who have counterfeited that gold strip, unfortunately. But this inside of here, when we pull it out, I've got them sleeved up. But shadowless, that was not a term given out by Pokemon. I think Gary said he was the one who actually coined that. But you can see right here, there's no shadow to the border to give it like a 3D type effect. And we did see cards that had the shadow later on. And if you look right here, the deck is actually on the top half. That's usually a good indication if you have a loose deck without the gold border right here, or the gold strip, to whether or not it's going to have shadowless cards inside. But it's not foolproof. To give you an example, we have 2 decks right here. This one right here has a deck on the bottom half. This one has one on the top half. So if you're not looking at anything else other than that, this one would have a better chance at having shadowless cards inside. However, when you flip it over to the back side, you're going to notice something that's a little different from this deck, as well as here's a gold strip deck. So on the gold strip deck, you're going to notice it has these counters up top, whereas in fact the card is actually pulled forward in front of the energies as well, and there's a few other noticeable differences. This one right here doesn't have the counters up top, so this one most likely was one of the versions where they were starting to remove that so that there were no international restrictions. So even though that the deck is on the top half here, this one pretty much has no chance of having shadowless cards inside. And then this one right here, this one actually still has a chance at having shadowless cards inside, but because the deck is on the bottom half, that chance goes down quite significantly. Now another type of seal that I haven't shown you guys, on these right here, this is a different type. These are pretty scarce, but you can see it's actually sealed up like this. And the good thing about this is normally if you have one that's sealed up like this, it has a good shot at having shadowless cards inside. In fact, I've never seen one of these open up that didn't have shadowless cards inside, but I've only seen a few of them opened up. I've opened up a few on this channel as well. The bad thing is this could also be a reseal. This is an easy type seal for someone to do. The material, it's different, and so to me you have to be careful with these. I like this one right here because it actually has one of these old $9.99 markdowns for the Pokemon themed deck, so this kind of adds to the character of this box. But I had bought these in a set, I think it was 3 or 4 of them. I'd opened up the other 2 to try to search for the no damage Ninetales, and then it was something else that I was searching for, and there was a no damage Ninetales and then the Zap. I wanted to get the Ghost Pikachus, but they were both duds, as all of my attempts have been so far. And yeah, they were both shadowless, so I'm pretty confident that these are legitimate seals on these 2 boxes. Now, one other variation I want to show you guys is this right here. We talked about the logos earlier in the game. This one, you can see on the back side, it doesn't have any logos, but as we flip it around, you're going to see that the logos are now curved. So the reason that is significant is because that is an indication that this theme deck case was manufactured out of either Europe or Australia. And if we look on the bottom, this one actually says made in UK. So what that indicates is that these theme decks inside of here, instead of having the year 1999 here on the bottom, they're actually going to have 1999-2000, and all of the cards inside should also be 1999-2000. And that's just a harder to find variation for Pokemon. Not many people really care because the artworks, they're all going to be same, other than the Vulpix. If there's I don't even think there's a Vulpix in one of these theme decks. If there is, it would be in the Brushfire. Or I guess there would have to be because there's Ninetales. But the Vulpix is corrected. The Gyarados, I don't think they actually ever corrected. The Vulpix had an issue with the HP. It was like 50 HP instead of HP 50, or it was HP 50 instead of 50 HP. And then they corrected it in the 1999-2000 European and Australian prints. But the fact that they changed the date from 1999 to 1999-2000 just gives an extra chase for collectors. And so within these decks right here, you're going to be able to get 1999, 2000, most likely on the holos, as well as every other card that comes in the set. So you could get a Ninetales, a Mewtwo, a Gyarados, Hitmonchan, all with those dates. And the holos are significantly harder to find because many of the holo packs, or packs that have holos in them that are dated 1999, 2000, they will yield all of the non-holos in 1999, 2000, but the holo will still only be dated 1999. It was a very limited print run. So finding these for the theme deck variation, it's a pretty cool find. I don't know of but a few of these that are out there, but I'm sure there's plenty. Theme decks were not something that was, you know, very scarce. It's not like they weren't overprinted, but sometimes these niche variations that I collect and some other people collect, it's hard to find if you have no idea that they're out there. So it's good to stay kind of connected in with the community when you're looking for these types of things, and know that there are people out there with it. Just sometimes you have to ask and put it out there that is what you're looking for. But anyways, guys, I hope that you learned something in this video, and if not, you know, I'll try again when I add in my personal collection in another video.